So this is the third part of maths chapter quadrilaterals. So in the beginning of this part, I'm going to explain midpoint theorem and converse of midpoint theorem. But the method with which converse of midpoint theorem has been explained will be slightly different, and so that's why I'm not doing it in this particular session. So I had recorded a live session with one of my student and explained, not from CBSE of course, uh, from class 9th ICSE, and they also have the same chapter, exactly same chapter, but in their textbook the converse of midpoint theorem is explained in a better way. So I'm going to after this part of the video, you are going to see that particular recording of me explaining midpoint and converse of midpoint theorem uh, to my student. Okay, so yes, okay, so that is that you will see now, and after that we are going to continue with intercept theorem, okay, or equal intercept theorems. So over to the midpoint theorem part.
The statement of midpoint theorem says that the line segment joining the midpoints of any two sides of a triangle is parallel to the third side and is equal to half of it. The line segment joining the midpoints of any two sides of a triangle is parallel to the third side and is equal to half of it. Now in this triangle ABC, D and E are midpoints of AB and AC respectively. It is given. See, if you read the given, it is written here that D and E are the midpoints of AB and AC respectively of triangle ABC. Okay, we have to prove that the line joining these two midpoints, that is DE, this DE is parallel to the third side. Now see, two sides of the triangle are AB and AC. The third side would be BC. So DE is parallel to BC. That is the first thing we have to prove. And the second thing we have to prove is DE is half of BC. The line segment joining the midpoints of any two sides of a triangle is parallel to the third side and is equal to half of it. Okay. In this, first we have to do a construction. For proving this, we need to do a construction. So you must remember this construction. If you don't remember the construction, you cannot prove it. And this proof is asked in exams many times. This proof and the converse of midpoint theorem wala proof. Both the proofs are asked in exam as a question. So you must remember that to prove midpoint theorem, this should be your ideal diagram, and given to prove construction should be as per the uh, contents given in the textbook, just as it is. Okay, so the diagram shows that there is a construction in which CF is drawn parallel to BA. CF is drawn parallel to BA, okay, which meets DE produced at F, which meets DE produced at F. Okay, so I'll just erase everything and I will show you construction again with red ink. Draw CF. CF is drawn parallel to BA. Parallel to BA. So you can say that these two lines, red lines, are parallel to each other. And you have to produce DE to meet CF at F. Okay, which meets DE produced at F. So this is your construction. Great. So how do we prove it? Let's take it to the other side. Just focus on the diagram. I'm not showing you the proof. I will write the whole proof and I will show you. Okay. So proof. Now see what we have to prove. We have to prove that DE is parallel to BC and DE is half of BC. For proving this, you need to consider two triangles and prove them congruent. Okay, so the two triangles I'm going to consider are in triangle ADE and triangle CFE. Can you see these two triangles ADE and CFE?
Yes, sir.
Great. I will just mark them with red ink. These are the two triangles on which we will have our focus. Okay. What is equal in these two triangles? I will just mark over here. What is equal? What is parallel? Whatever I'm going to mark over here. Okay. Sure. So, do you see that in these two triangles, AE is equal to CE?
Yes, sir.
Can you tell me the reason why?
Sir, because it FD is bisecting AC.
You can say that E is midpoint of AC and it is
Yeah,
given. You
yeah.
can either write given or you can write that since E is midpoint of AC. If E is midpoint of AC, AE will be equal to CE, right?
Yes, sir.
Great. Okay. The next thing which we can prove equal, just a moment. Okay, let's list some other parts which are equal. So first is AE is equal to CE. Second is angle AED is equal to angle CEF. Can you give me the reason? AED is equal to CEF.
Vertical opposite angles.
Correct. Vertically opposite angles. Okay. Next is angle DAE is equal to angle FCE. DAE is equal to angle FCE. Can you tell me the reason?
I think because they're alternative angles.
Correct. Correct. They are alternate interior angles because AB is parallel to CF. Since AB is parallel to CF, alternate interior angles are equal. Correct? So angle DAE is equal to angle FCE by alternate interior angles, and therefore triangle ADE is congruent to triangle CFE by AAS test. ADE CFE. Correspondence is correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. So after proving these two triangles congruent, look at the figure. What I'm going to do, I'll tell you. I'm going to write that angle ADE is equal to angle CFE, CPCTC. I will show you where the angle is. Angle ADE is over here and angle CFE is over here. You see that?
Yes, sir.
And next I'm going to write one more thing, which is DE is equal to FE, CPCTC. DE is equal to FE, CPCTC. Correct? So these two things which I have proved in CPCTC, some extra results which I have got, I'm going to utilize it further. Correct? Let's see. Okay. Okay. Okay, so now we know that DE is equal to EF, right? DE is equal to EF. So can we say that DE plus EF is equal to DF? DE plus EF is equal to DF, right? You're there?
Yes, sir. Actually, network issues are there on my
No
side.
problem, no problem. I'm recording, so even if you cannot hear, I will send you the video later, okay?
Okay,
Don't worry, just listen to what I will go on speaking. I'm not going to ask you. I will go on speaking. If you have doubt, you ask me, okay? Sure. So DE plus EF is equal to DF, and we know that DE is equal to EF. So we can say that DE plus DE is equal to DF. Why? Since DE is equal to EF. Okay, so 2 times DE is equal to DF. So DE is equal to half of DF. DE is equal to half of DF. Now only thing we have to prove DF equal to BC, but that will happen. That will happen. So I will just write equation number 1 over here and I will move ahead. Okay. Next thing, I had to prove one more thing equal, which I did not, so I will prove it now. I can also say that AD is equal to CF. AD is equal to CF, CPCTC. So in all there are 3 CPCTC which we are using. AD is equal to CF. Okay. Now see. Now we are at the final part. See, AD is equal to BD, right? This is given because D is the midpoint, and AD is equal to CF. This is proved by us. See, AD is equal to BD because D is midpoint of AB, and AD is equal to CF because that is proved by CPCTC. So we can say that therefore BD is equal to CF. We can say that BD is equal to CF. So I have proved that if I erase everything and simplify, I will show you what I have proved. I have proved that AD is equal to CF and AD is equal to BD was given. So BD is equal to CF. I have proved BD is equal to CF. Also, BD is parallel to CF. Why BD is parallel to CF? Because AB is parallel to CF and BD is a part of AB. AB is parallel to CF by construction and BD is a part of AB. So BD will also be parallel to CF. So I will write here in reason, since AB is parallel to CF by construction. Okay. So therefore, we can say that, see, BD is parallel to CF and BD is equal to CF. So we can say that BDFC is a parallelogram. Therefore, BDFC is a parallelogram. BDFC is a parallelogram. Okay. Now, BDFC is a parallelogram is proved by us. So, can we say that, therefore, can we say that DF is parallel to BC? DF is parallel to BC? Yes. Why? Because opposite sides of parallelogram are equal, right? Opposite sides of parallelogram are equal. So DF is parallel to BC. If DF is parallel to BC, then DE is also parallel to BC. So we can say that therefore DE is parallel to BC. Okay, so that's one thing which we had to prove, that DE is parallel to BC. We have proved that by proving DFCB as a parallelogram, we proved it. Acha, one more thing. One more thing is DF is equal to BC. DF is equal to BC. You know why? In the figure, I want you to see why. Aryan, you are there?
Yes, sir.
Why is DF parallel to BC?
Because alternative sides of a parallelogram are equal.
Opposite sides.
Opposite sides, sorry.
Opposite sides of parallelogram are equal and parallel, right? So DF is
Yes.
equal to BC because opposite sides of parallelogram. Great. So can I say that therefore half of DF is equal to half of BC? अगर दोनों साइड हाफ मल्टीप्लाई किया तो चलेगा ना, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. अगर
Yes, sir.
DF BC से इक्वल है तो half of DF will be equal to half of BC. And I just proved here, if you notice, I just proved here that half of DF is equal to DE. I proved it already, right? So मैं half of DF की जगह DE लिख सकता हूं. Therefore half of DF की जगह DE लिखूंगा. DE is equal to half of BC. DE is equal to half of BC. DE is equal to half of BC. ठीक है. अच्छा, तो ये क्या हो जाएगा? This will be since DF is equal, sorry, DE is equal to half of DF. ठीक है. तो ये मैंने दो चीजें प्रूव कर दी, that DE is parallel to BC and DE is half of BC. These two things are proved with the help of our congruency. So basically I have proved midpoint theorem. I have proved that in any triangle, the line segment joining the midpoints of any two sides of a triangle is parallel to the third side and it is equal to half of it. तो कोई भी ट्राइंगल में किसी भी दो साइड्स के मिड पॉइंट को ज्वाइन करने वाली लाइन तीसरी साइड से पैरेलल होती है और उससे उसकी हाफ होती है. दैट वी हैव प्रूव्ड. ठीक है. अब नेक्स्ट इज कन्वर्स ऑफ मिड पॉइंट थियरम. कन्वर्स ऑफ मिड पॉइंट थियरम. Okay, let me take it to the other side. ठीक है. कन्वर्स ऑफ मिड पॉइंट थियरम. What does it say? It says that the straight line drawn through midpoint of one side of triangle parallel to other side bisects the third side. ये थोड़ा सा अलग है, इसलिए थोड़ा इस पे ध्यान रख देना जरूरी है. तो they have said that in this triangle ABC, D is the midpoint of AB. ठीक है. D midpoint है, मतलब AD और BD इक्वल है. D से हमने एक पैरेलल लाइन ड्रॉ की. वी हैव ड्रॉन अ पैरेलल लाइन फ्रॉम D. ये जो पैरेलल लाइन है ये AC को E पे इंटरसेक्ट कर रही है. ये पैरेलल लाइन AC को E पे इंटरसेक्ट कर रही है. ठीक है. सो हमें प्रूव करना है कि ये AC को जहां भी इंटरसेक्ट कर रही है उस वो पॉइंट AC का मिड पॉइंट होगा. मतलब द स्ट्रेट लाइन ड्रॉन थ्रू मिड पॉइंट ऑफ वन साइड ऑफ ट्राइंगल पैरेलल टू द अदर साइड बाइसेक्ट्स द थर्ड साइड. मतलब सामने वाली साइड को ये जो लाइन DE है वो बाइसेक्ट करेगी. सामने वाली साइड AC को जो ये लाइन DE है वो बाइसेक्ट करेगी. ठीक है. स्ट्रेट लाइन ड्रॉन थ्रू द मिड पॉइंट ऑफ वन साइड ऑफ अ ट्राइंगल पैरेलल टू अनदर बाइसेक्ट्स द थर्ड साइड. मतलब EAC का मिड पॉइंट है, ये हमें प्रूव करना है. इससे पहले वाली थियरम में, थियरम 6 में, मिड पॉइंट थियरम में, वी हैड टू प्रूव दैट DE is parallel to BC and DE is half of BC. बट यहाँ पे बोल दिया है कि DE is parallel to BC. हमें प्रूव करना है कि E is midpoint of AC. ठीक है, तो गिवन देख लो ध्यान से, फिर मैं प्रूव करके दिखाऊंगा तुम्हें. D is midpoint of side AB of triangle ABC and DE is drawn parallel to the side BC. D midpoint है AB का और DE parallel है किससे? BC से. So we have to prove that DE bisects AC. DE bisects AC. That is AE is equal to EC. AE is equal to EC. कंस्ट्रक्शन क्या है? सेम कंस्ट्रक्शन पहले जैसा. ड्रॉ CF पैरेलल टू BA which meets DE produced at F. CF बनाना है हमें पैरेलल टू BA which meets DE produced at F. ठीक है, so let's prove this one. Okay, let's start. So प्रूफ में कैसे लिखेंगे देखो. So we know that DE is parallel to BC. Can you tell me the reason, Arya?
Opposite sides of a no, given.
Yes.
It was given.
Yes.
No?
Yes.
DE
Yes.
is
Yes. So it is given. DE is parallel to BC. And BD is parallel to CF. Can you tell me the reason? BD parallel to CF? By construction. है ना, हमने कंस्ट्रक्शन किया ना, AB पैरेलल टू CF ड्रॉ किया, CF पैरेलल टू AB ड्रॉ किया. हाँ,
Yes, sir. Actually, my mic is not unmuting. I don't know why.
नो प्रॉब्लम, कोई बात नहीं. तुम्हें सुनाई दे रहा है ना सब कुछ? यू आर एबल? हाँ बस, ओके, बस सुनते रहो. अगर तुम आंसर दे पाओगे तो अच्छी बात है, नहीं है तो मैं आगे बढ़ जाऊंगा. ठीक है, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. ओके, सो DE पैरेलल टू BC गिवन है, BD पैरेलल टू CF. इसलिए मैंने यहाँ पे डायग्राम साइड में रखा है ताकि हम लोग जो भी यहाँ पे लिख रहे हैं ना, वी कैन कंफर्म विद द डायग्राम. प्रूफ तो मैं पूरा लिख रहा हूँ, डायग्राम साइड में है तो हम देख सकते हैं. ठीक है, सो DE पैरेलल टू BC, BD पैरेलल टू CF बाय कंस्ट्रक्शन. ये सब जो भी है वो हमारे सामने इंफॉर्मेशन है. अच्छा, और एक चीज, therefore we can say that BDFC is a parallelogram. BDFC क्या है? पैरेललोग्राम. ठीक है, अब BDFC एक पैरेललोग्राम है. क्यों बोल सकते हैं हम ऐसा? BDFC एक पैरेललोग्राम है, हम ऐसा क्यों बोल सकते हैं? Because since opposite sides of parallelogram are parallel. जब एक कोई भी क्वाड्रिलेटरल की ऑपोजिट साइड्स, बोथ द ऑपोजिट साइड्स पैरेलल होती है तो वो क्या होता है? पैरेललोग्राम होता है. मतलब हमने पहले ही ये प्रूव कर दिया कि BDFC एक पैरेललोग्राम है. ठीक है, इसके बाद हम प्रूफ मतलब अपना जो कॉन्ग्रुएंसी है उस पे जाएंगे. अच्छा, अगर BDFC पैरेललोग्राम है तो कैन वी से दैट BD is equal to CF? Yes, definitely we can say that. And can we say that DF is equal to BC? Yes. क्यों? रीजन क्या है? ऑपोजिट साइड्स ऑफ अ पैरेललोग्राम. पैरेललोग्राम की ऑपोजिट साइड्स क्या होती है? पैरेलल होती है, सॉरी इक्वल होती है। पैरेलल तो होती है, इक्वल भी होती है, ठीक है। सो बी डी इज इक्वल टू सी एफ एंड डी एफ इज इक्वल टू बी सी, ठीक है। अब हम ट्राइंगल लेने के लिए रेडी हैं। नाउ इन ट्राइंगल ADE and triangle CFE, ADE and CFE. See, first thing I'm going to write is AD is equal to CF. और रीजन क्या दूंगा मैं पता है? Since AD is equal to BD and BD is equal to CF. देखो AD BD से इक्वल है, क्यों? क्योंकि D मिड पॉइंट है AB का, और BD CF से इक्वल है, क्यों? क्योंकि पैरेललोग्राम की ऑपोजिट साइड्स इक्वल होती है, हमने अभी प्रूव किया। तो अगर AD BD से इक्वल है, BD CF से इक्वल है, तो AD और CF इक्वल होंगे। इसका मतलब है कि ये वाली साइड AD और ये वाली साइड CF ये इक्वल हो जाएंगी, ठीक है। आगे बढ़ते हुए एंगल DAE, एंगल DAE is equal to angle FCE. Angle DAE is equal to angle FCE by alternate interior angles. Angle DAE is equal to angle FCE by alternate interior angles, ठीक है। एंगल AED is equal to angle CEF, वर्टिकली ऑपोजिट एंगल। मतलब मैंने ये वाले एंगल को ये वाले एंगल से इक्वल प्रूव कर दिया, बिकॉज AD और CF तो पैरेलल थे बाय कंस्ट्रक्शन, तो ऑल्टरनेट इंटीरियर एंगल इक्वल होने चाहिए। और ये वाले दोनों एंगल को इक्वल प्रूव कर दिया बिकॉज ये वर्टिकली ऑपोजिट एंगल है। एंड देयरफॉर आई कैन से दैट ट्राइंगल ADE is congruent to triangle CFE by AAS टेस्ट, ठीक है। दोनों ट्राइंगल कॉन्ग्रुएंट हो गए, और क्योंकि दोनों ट्राइंगल कॉन्ग्रुएंट है, सो देयरफॉर वी कैन से दैट AE is equal to CE by CPCTC। यही तो हमें प्रूव करना था कि AE CE से इक्वल है, ठीक है। Therefore E is midpoint of AC। अगर AE CE से इक्वल है तो E midpoint हो जाएगा AC का, ठीक है। समझ में आया? तो दिस इज कन्वर्स ऑफ मिड पॉइंट थियरम। कन्वर्स ऑफ मिड पॉइंट थियरम का अगर तुम स्टेटमेंट देखोगे ना, ये वही बोलता है कन्वर्स ऑफ मिड पॉइंट थियरम। लेट मी शो यू हियर द statement says that straight line drawn through the midpoint of one side of triangle parallel to the other side bisects the third side। मतलब हमने ये प्रूव कर दिया कि DE will bisect AC, AE is equal to EC।
Okay, so let's continue with intercepts theorem or equal intercepts theorem. The theorem says that if there are parallel lines, if there are three or more parallel lines, but minimum there should be 3 parallel lines, and the intercepts made by them on one transversal are equal, then the intercepts on any other transversal are also equal. If there are 3 parallel lines and the intercepts made by intercepts made by them on one transversal are equal, then the intercepts on any other transversal are also equal. So what is the meaning of this theorem? Let's understand with the help of a diagram. So suppose we have 3 parallel lines, and these 3 parallel lines, let me name them L, M and N. these three parallel lines are cut by a transversal. Let's say this is a transversal. Okay, so this transversal is T. So do you see that these three parallel lines, when they are cut by this transversal, the transversal is divided into two line segments. Let me name the line segments AB and BC. These line segments, which are the parts of the transversal, when it cuts the three or more parallel lines, these line segments are known as intercepts. Okay, so this is one intercept, this is the other intercept. Okay, so when three parallel lines are cut by a transversal and there are two intercepts made by one of the transversal, then the intercepts on any other transversal will also be equal to these two intercepts. So that means if I draw any other transversal, let's say like this, let's say this is S, transversal S. So this transversal is also making two intercepts. That is, let's say this is cutting, this transversal S is cutting lines LM and N at D, E and F points, so that we are getting one intercept over here and other over here. So these two intercepts AB and DE will be equal, and these two intercepts BC and EF will be equal. And if AB is equal to BC, then DE will also be equal to EF. So if there are three parallel lines and the intercepts made by one transversal are equal, then the intercepts on any other transversals will also be equal. That is the intercept theorem. Equal intercepts theorem also you can call it. Okay, so let's prove this theorem. So for proving it, we will write, let me show you another proof, because here the whole, yeah. Okay, yeah, this is better. So we have three parallel lines L, M and N, and they are cut by two transversals P and Q. When they are cut by transversal P at points A, B and C, the two equal intercepts which are being made, are AB and BC. So AB and BC are two equal intercepts. And another transversal Q is also cutting these three parallel lines L, M and N, such that it is making two intercepts DE and EF. So we have to prove that DE is equal to EF. This is what we have to prove. So if AB is equal to BC, we have to prove that DE is equal to EF. Now for proving this, we have to draw a line through E parallel to P, intersecting L and N in G and H respectively. We have to draw a line through E parallel to P, intersecting L and N at G and H respectively. So remember, your construction says that draw G H parallel to AC such that it passes through E. GH parallel to AC such that it passes through E. So this is what we need to draw. Okay, great. Okay, now the proof. Now we come to the part of the proof. Remember, we have to prove that DE is equal to EF. Okay, now we know that lines L, M and N are parallel to each other. They are parallel to each other. Also, GE is parallel to AB. Can we say that GE is parallel to AB? Yes, we can say that. And we can also say that EH is parallel to BC. EH is parallel to BC. AC is a straight line, so GH is also a straight line. So we can say that, let me write it properly like how it should be written. AG is parallel to BE given, and AB is parallel to GE by construction. Therefore, ABEG is a parallelogram. ABEG is a parallelogram. Similarly, BCFE is also a parallelogram. Why? Since BE is parallel to CH and BC is parallel to EH. EH or E, yes, EH is right, because F is not this point, F is this point, this is F. Okay, F is not here, this is H and this is F. Okay, so BCFE is parallel to BCHE, actually BCHE. BCHE is also a parallelogram. ABEG is also a parallelogram. So we have proved that these two are parallelograms. Right? So if they are parallelograms, opposite sides will be equal. That means AB is equal to GE and BC is equal to HE. So we can say that, therefore, AB is equal to GE and BC is equal to HE. Why? They are opposite sides of parallelogram. Opposite sides of parallelogram. Okay. But we have to prove that DE is equal to EF. DE is equal to EF. Okay. So consider triangle GDE and triangle HFE. GDE HFE. Triangle GDE and triangle HFE. Angle DGE is equal to angle DGE is equal to angle FHE, alternate interior angles. I'll just locate these angles for you. Angle DGE is over here. Angle FHE is over here. This is angle FHE, alternate interior angles. Also, angle GED is equal to angle HEF, vertically opposite angles. And last but not the least, see, we had already proved that AB is equal to GE and BC is equal to HE. But AB and BC are equal. But AB is equal to AC. Therefore, we can say that GE is equal to HE. Okay, so this we have already proved that GE is equal to HE. Now look at GE and HE in the triangles which we are proving congruent. I will again show you. I will just clear this mess and I will again show you with red mark. This angle is equal to this angle. This angle is equal to this angle. And GE is equal to HE. GE is equal to HE, which was proved just now. Therefore, we can say that triangle GDE is congruent to triangle HFE. Triangle GDE is congruent to triangle HFE by ASA test, angle side angle test. GDE, HFE are congruent by ASA test. Okay, so can we say that therefore DE is equal to FE, CPCTC. That's it. And therefore it is proved that DE is equal to FE. Corresponding parts of congruent triangles are congruent. Right? Did you understand? So the main idea behind this proof was doing the construction. If you're able to do the construction properly, then you're able to you have to write all these statements where you have to prove ABEG and BCHE as parallelograms and their opposite sides are equal. But AB is equal to BC is already given because the transversal P is cutting two equal intercepts AB and BC. So GE and EH will also be equal. GE and HE will also be equal since they are the opposite sides of parallelogram. And after that we consider triangle GDE and HFE and we proved them congruent by ASA test, and then we proved DE is equal to EF by CPCTC. So this is the simplest way of proving equal intercept theorem. Right, so these were the three theorems which we have seen in this video so far. Number one is midpoint theorem, number two converse of midpoint theorem, number three intercept theorem. Okay, so this third part, the last part, final part of this chapter is based on these three theorems. Okay, so I think we are ready to start with the numericals of this part. Okay, let's see. This is the first numerical. Let's see what it wants. D, E and F are respectively the midpoints of side BC, CA and AB of equilateral triangle ABC. Okay, so this is an equilateral triangle ABC. We can write given triangle ABC is equilateral. D, E and F are midpoints of sides AB, BC and AC respectively. D, E and F are midpoints of sides AB, BC and AC respectively. So we can say that BD is equal to CD is equal to CE is equal to AE is equal to AF is equal to EB. Since all sides are equal, their halves are also equal. What we have to prove? Prove that DEF is also equilateral triangle. To prove triangle DEF is also equilateral. Okay, proof. This is very easy, no construction, nothing. Since D and F are midpoints of sides BC and AB respectively, since D and F are midpoints of sides BC and AB respectively, therefore DF is parallel to AC and DF is half of AC by midpoint theorem. Okay, so we applied midpoint theorem and we proved that DF is half of AC and DF is parallel to AC. Similarly, we can prove that DE is half of AB and EF is half of BC. So DF, DE and EF, DF, DE and EF all are half of AB, BC and AC, right? By midpoint theorem. By midpoint theorem. Okay. But AB is equal to AC is equal to BC, since triangle ABC is equilateral. Therefore, half of AB is equal to half of AC is equal to half of BC. So if three sides are equal, their halves will also be equal, which implies half of AB, see half of AB is DE, is equal to half of AC. Half of AC is DF, which equals to half of BC, which is EF. And therefore, triangle DEF is equilateral triangle because all the three sides are equal. Okay, so that was very easy to prove. This was the most easiest and simplest application of midpoint theorem. Let's go to the next question. In figure, triangle ABC is an isosceles triangle in which AB is equal to AC. Also, D, E and F are midpoints of BC, CA and AB respectively. Show that AD is perpendicular to EF and AD is bisected by FE. Okay, let's write given. Triangle ABC is isosceles, that is AB is equal to AC. D, E and F are midpoints of BC, AC and AB respectively. Okay, to prove AD is perpendicular to FE and AD is bisected by FE. AD is bisected by FE means AL is equal to LD is equal to half of AD. That is what we have to prove. We have to prove that L is midpoint of AD. L is bisected. AD is bisected by FE at L. This is what we have to prove. There is no construction required. Let's directly start with the proof. Okay. So first of all, we have to prove that AD is perpendicular to FE. Okay, and we know that D is midpoint of BC. So in triangle ABD and triangle ACD, angle ABD is equal to angle ACD. Angles opposite to equal sides. AB is equal to AC, given, right? And BD is equal to DC, since D is midpoint of BC. It's given that D is midpoint of BC. So therefore, triangle ABD is congruent to triangle ACD by SAS test. Okay, so these two triangles are congruent, ABD and ACD. Therefore, we can say that angle ADB is equal to angle ADC CPCT. Angle ADB is equal to angle ADC CPCT. Corresponding parts of congruent triangles. But angle ADB plus angle ADC is equal to 180 degree linear pair. See, angle ADB and ADC, they are on a straight line, angles on a straight line, so they are also linear pair, so their sum is 180, but they are also equal, so therefore 2 times angle ADB is equal to 180 degree, and therefore angle ADB is equal to 180 by 2, which is 90 degree. So angle ADB, this angle is 90 degree, we have proved it. Right? Okay. So taking it further, we have to prove that AD is perpendicular to FE, right? Okay, we can prove it very easily. Taking this further, F and E are midpoints of AB and AC respectively. F and E are midpoints of AB and AC respectively. Therefore, FE will be parallel to BC, that's the base. Let me just check with the figure again. I don't have the figure. Yeah, FE will be parallel to BC and FE will be half of BC by midpoint theorem. FE will be parallel to BC and FE will be half of BC. Great. So therefore, we can say that FL is parallel to BD. I'll just show you what is FL. If FE is parallel to BC, we can say that FL is parallel to BD, right? Therefore, we can say that FL is parallel to BD. D. Great. If FL is parallel to BD, our job becomes simpler and easier. Now, in triangle ABD, FL is parallel to BD. We have proved it. And F is midpoint of AB, which is given. Therefore, you can say that L is midpoint of AD. L is midpoint of AD by converse of midpoint theorem. Right? A line drawn from the midpoint of one side of the triangle parallel to the third side bisects the opposite side. That's the converse of midpoint theorem. So L is midpoint of AD. Therefore, FE bisects AD. So that's the second proof which we wanted. Acha, there is one more thing after FL parallel to AD, which FL parallel to BD, which we can prove is after FL parallel to BD. Actually, I forgot to write here, so you can write continue here. So that means angle FLA, right? Yeah, angle FLA is equal to angle BDA. Angle FLA is equal to angle BDA. Corresponding angles. Therefore, FL is perpendicular to AD, or FE is perpendicular to AD. Okay, so we have proved that FE is perpendicular to AD or AD is perpendicular to FE. Both means the same thing, and we have proved that FE bisects AD. So we have used congruency, we have used midpoint theorem, we have used converse of midpoint theorem. This was a very nice question which actually had application of midpoint theorem and congruency to the maximum level. So as you can see, there is no quadrilaterals involved directly in this example. There is no direct application of quadrilaterals which you can find here, but it is related with quadrilaterals. In quadrilaterals also you can apply midpoint theorem. So quadrilaterals, triangles, midpoint theorem, intercept theorem, these are, you can say, very they are overlapping topics. There are so many common things between them that you cannot treat them separately, that you know one, so you don't you have to study other from the scratch. No, it's not like that. If you know one topic, that is, if you know congruency well, then you can figure out what is quadrilaterals. If you know midpoint theorem, then your knowledge of quadrilaterals and congruency is much more enhanced, right? So these are all connected topics, you can say. Okay, so in this figure, AD is median of triangle ABC and E is the midpoint of AD. Also, BE produced meets AC in F. Prove that AF is 1/3 of AC. Okay. Let's write given. AD is median of triangle ABC. Therefore, BD is equal to DC. Yeah, that's the first thing. E is midpoint of AD. E is midpoint of AD, that is AE is equal to ED. Also BE produced meets AC in F. BE produced meets AC in F. To prove AF is 1/3 of AC. Okay, so this can be proved easily. So there is one construction which is required. So basically, you have to see E is midpoint of AD. That is the only thing which is given, and BE produced meets AC at F. So BE is already produced and it is meeting AC at F. You have to draw DP parallel to BF. You have to draw DP parallel to BF. Great. Okay. Now let's see which triangle to consider. So first I'm going to consider triangle ADP. Look very closely. This is a very important question. In triangle ADP, can you see triangle ADP? In triangle ADP, E is midpoint of AD given, right? EF is parallel to DP since BF is parallel to DP by construction. So EF becomes parallel to DP. Therefore, F becomes midpoint of AP by converse of midpoint theorem. By converse of midpoint theorem, F becomes the midpoint of AP. F becomes the midpoint of AP. And therefore, we can say that AF is equal to FP. Okay, so this is statement number 1. Okay, great. Now, consider triangle BFC. Can you see triangle BFC? In triangle BFC, you have to actually rotate the triangle and imagine or visualize in a way which I'm trying to show you. Okay, in triangle BFC, imagine that C is your vertex and BF is your base. Okay, so in triangle BFC, D is midpoint of BC, which is given that AD is a median, so D becomes the midpoint of BC, and DP is parallel to BF. DP is parallel to BF by construction. Okay, DP is parallel to BF by construction. D is the midpoint of BC. So we can say that P, therefore P is midpoint of CF. P is midpoint of CF by converse of midpoint theorem. By converse of midpoint theorem, you can say that P is midpoint of CF, and therefore you can say that FP is equal to PC. This is equation number 2. and from 1 and 2, you can say that AF is equal to FP is equal to PC. AF is equal to FP is equal to PC, but this is not over here. We have to prove that AF is one third of AC. Okay, but AF plus FP plus PC is equal to AC. Therefore, 3 times AF is equal to AC. Therefore, AF is equal to one third of AC. AF is one third of AC. So here in this question we have twice we have used converse of midpoint theorem. So I think now in your minds the applications of midpoint and converse of midpoint theorem should be absolutely clear, that this is how you apply midpoint theorem whenever required and converse of midpoint theorem.